Good evening, all. Hello, 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 and lovely to see lovely to see chat. Nice and busy already. Hello, Dungeon Crawlers Level 1. Hello, Manfred. Hello, Iman. Brian's here as well, and Halakar. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, it says there's 5 in chat, and that's 5 names I've read out. So you've been chatting away, socialising amongst yourselves before I get here. Anyway, I'm going to take my headphones off because I'm by myself. I have no need for them. That's better. That's better. I can hear myself speak now. Noise cancelling on those things is fantastic. Shuts out the sound of my own droning voice as well. Hello, Fief Keef. All right. What do we got? Let's see what you're chatting about. People just saying hello, isn't it? Come all without, come all within. You've not seen nothing like the mighty Quinn. Bit of Manfred Mann. Yes. It was a dark and stormy night, and Uncle Yarg gathered us around the fireplace for an evening of spine-tingling tales. Oh, I don't know how spine-tingling it'll be. I mean, we shall see. We shall see. Hello, Mercurius. Hello, Mercurius. My wife bought all these Friends mugs, so I've got one. 10 pence each. What kind of tea did I get? If I my tea is very dark. I have strong, just English, typical English brands of tea, tiny bit of oat milk and half a sugar. Just enough to wake me up. Mercurius, that's the Adventure Conquer King retro clone, isn't it, that he's done? I'd be interested in trying it if I didn't already have OSE, and OSE does what I want. I know it leans into all the militaristic stuff, domain play, but I've had so few games get to those levels that all those juicy military rules would be wasted on me, because I tend to play most of my games at lower levels. I like the idea of what he's done, though. I mean, I was going to end my most recent AD&D campaign, face-to-face campaign, with a big battle system battle using the old first edition AD&D battle system. I like playing those sort of games, but it's just never really got. I don't like them playing. I don't like playing them as sort of set pieces and one-offs. I like to incorporate them into a campaign. But as I said, getting characters to those levels and getting that style of play into the game, the players have got to buy into it as well. And my group, they were very much what you would call in America a beer and pretzels group, just wanting takeaway, messing about on a Friday night with a bit of gaming. And so they weren't really interested in that in all that. But yeah, we shall see. OSE does the job for me. It's the framework that I like. It's so simple, so well written. I can't justify the extra all that money for yet more. Yes, the books look beautiful, but yet more books on essentially retro clones. I've got Osric, I've got OSE, I've got Labyrinth Lord, which I've never used, but it cost me 10 quid for a hardback reprint. But I don't need any more. Yes, OSE does give away free rules as PDFs. I'm going to be getting some One Ring stuff. if I'm going to buy some stuff over the next year or so, I'm going to collect a lot of the One Ring campaign books. I know one of my Monday night group wants to run some One Ring, so I don't know whether that'll happen, but I'd like to run some as well. I'd like to run it on the Discord at some point. I think it needs to be played. So I have backed some back to One Ring thing. Right. Yeah, I mean, I essentially work a minimum wage shop job. Yes, I've got a little bit extra income from YouTube. I've got a little bit of extra income from hosting my my Sunday night quiz that I run every week, and I also make a little bit seeding motorsport events using my nerdy driver rating database. There's an event, the Cambrian Rally, this weekend, and the seeding order is I did it for them. The last round of the British Rally Championship, I did the seeding order for that as well. So and they basically cover my. It works out about £3 an hour for seeding, the amount of time I spend on it, for the amount of money I get paid for it. But it covers it, I guess. It covers my fuel to go to the events. The inflation happened over the last 12 months, but it has calmed down recently. We've had the inflation. It's starting to calm down. We had a massive jump in fuel costs, and they've fallen back a little bit, but they'll never go back to how they were. And food's expensive. Thank you, Mercurius. I mean, you don't need to just, as you know it. You like that T-shirt? Contains memory loss and gas. Yes. Thank you, Palmetto. But cheers, Mercurius. That's very kind. YouTube will never be a full second income. But hey ho. I live quite a cheap life. I'm not expensive. I don't drink a lot. I don't go out all that much. I don't have many expensive subscriptions or anything like that. Our mortgage is nearly paid off. My daughter's now working, so we've got her income coming in. My wife is now working full time now that my son's a teenager, so her income coming in. So we're comfortable. We're not rich, but we're comfortable. And we live cheaply. We live very cheaply. We don't go out for £30, £40 meals per person. I mean, we'll go out and sit in a pub and have a £7 or £8 meal, and that's considered to be a treat. But that's fine. We're happy with that. We are happy with that. Right. Okay. Where was we? I've got number 85 written down here, Iman. 85. You're saying my 85 is wrong? Yeah, she is still playing football. Had a difficult few weeks, to be honest. Not getting on particularly well with the coach. And there's been quite a few squad changes, so she's been a little bit unsettled. But she's played 7 times this season, but she's been a substitute twice, scored 3 goals, had 3 assists. Her attempt to push into the first team has stalled a bit. And that's because they've made quite a few signings, and the squad, they've got quite a few very experienced players in the first team, which has pushed first team players down into the reserves. So she's having to share time in the reserves now, which is frustrating her. But We'll see. We'll see. They are struggling as well. They've jumped up a league level, so that's why they're trying to really strengthen the squad. And they've got a really good crop of youngsters that probably aren't quite ready for full blown senior football yet. I mean, she's only 19 3 months ago, so she's still young, and hopefully she'll learn from these training with these experienced players and playing with them. But it's just that she's gone from being vice captain, one of the stars of the team, to almost being a rotational piece. And she doesn't like that. Doesn't like that at all. She's trained to be able to go out there and play the full 90 minutes every single time and give it everything for 90 minutes. And now she's having to be rotated a bit to make sure everyone gets involved. It's it's one of those things. Just got to get used to it. It's part of being in a team. I remember I used to play cricket. I was captain of the third team at our club, and I'd often get pulled up to the second team to fill a gap and barely do anything. And I was used to being captain of the thirds, get a good bat, good bowl, really, really, really well involved, but then pulled up to the seconds and I was stood there going, what am I here for? Anyway, hello Mage, hello Crafting Gamer, how are you chaps? Omen Owl's here as well. Very, very nice to see lots of people. Okay, you were on the news. Thief Keef. What have you done? What have they arrested you for? Right, okay. The reason I've written down 85, we were at 303. We've picked 85 as the place to go. Right. So I'll just read 303 again to remind you of where we were. And then bear in mind we have voted to go to 85. So it'll just give you an idea of where we are. So, right. You were on work because you had you were on telly because you had a new scanner at work. Is that how bad a news day it was? So and so has bought a new scanner. Right, this is where we were. 303 said, a fine carriage clock sits in the centre of an elaborately carved wooden mantelpiece. A number of letters are jammed in behind the clock, and you reach for them. As you do so, your sleeve catches one of the carved images in the woodwork, and it moves. You lean forward to examine it. It is a small, carved demonic face which can be moved sideways. Do you wish to see what lies behind the wooden face? If so, turn to 85. That's the one we picked. Oh, yes. And then we had this. Remember those? Right. The little carving moves to reveal a button set in the mantelpiece behind it. You consider whether or not to press the button. As you are deep in thought, you do not notice what is happening to the fire. In the grate, the fire has come back to life. Strong flames are licking the chimney and considerable heat is being given off. You feel the heat and step backwards, and as you do so, two small figures leap from the fire and face you. These fire sprites are small. They come up to your knees, but their flaming bodies burn with the vigor of the fire from which they arose. They hover in the air just above the carpet, for if they touch anything, it bursts into flame. Right, and now we have a choice. Do we fight these creatures, or do we try another approach? Fight the creatures, or try another approach. Dungeon Crawlers reckons we fight. Iman says try another approach, and Halakar reckons we urinate on them, which I assume is another approach. Got a full bladder, Halakar. Thief Keef's going for another approach as well. Dungeon Crawlers is being outvoted. Palmetto goes for another approach. Brian James says just roll 2d6. We had brandy and wine, and they literally just scared the piss out of us. So look down. Oh, there's a patch on our trousers. Oh, little bit of warmth. Okay, so it's only Dungeon Crawlers who reckons we go for the fight. Everybody else is saying do something different. Okay, let's see what doing something different is. yes, screen cap him on the telly, and we'll get him in the Discord and get a little emote for him as well. I need to do more of those. I've got a mugshot of you somewhere, Iman. Right. How will you hold off these advancing creatures? Will you pick up the brandy decanter, or will you move slowly backwards towards the window? It was, yes, when you froze in a funny way. I have that saved on my computer. I will use it at an inopportune moment. Hello, Andrew. It's happened again. The first person to vote has been completely outvoted by the next four. that happened last time. I think I should go through most of my streams and try and get embarrassing expressions on people's faces and splatter them over the Discord. Or just draw some devil horns on Saxius. You're going for brandy, even though you're being outvoted. Yeah, you are being outvoted. You've been... it's 5-2 at the moment for moving backwards towards the window. Which is... yeah. If that's a football score, that's a bit of a kicking. It was the football score when my daughter's team played Stoke City. Stoke City 5, Sutton Coldfield Town 2. And then we had Peterborough United 6, Sutton Coldfield Town 0. Last weekend it was Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Sutton Coldfield Town 2. That was closer. Only losing 3-2 to Wolves. Not bad. Halifax this weekend in the Cup. It's going to be tough as well. All right. 64. Yes. Saxius will be working or something. He doesn't do the Friday nights very often. He's got a lot of work at the moment. No, he's not here to defend himself. Yes, Palmetto. She's in the it's the National League Midland. The first team playing the National League Midland Division 1, which is the equivalent level of League 2 in men's football, and she plays for the development team, who are in the National League Midland Reserve Division, which is a mixture of National League Premier and League 1 reserve teams. So we've got Derby County reserves, Peterborough reserves. We've already played Barnsley this season, lost to them 6-5. Lincoln City are in there. Who else is in there? Nottingham Forest got promoted out of it last season. They were there. Leicester also got promoted out of the division last season. They were in this division last season. But they've moved. So yeah, there's some decent sized club. Notts County or another one in there. It's all sort of the Midlands clubs. West Bromwich Albion was supposed to be in there as well, but their reserve team folded, so we got half their players. So yeah, I mean, half the girls on her team have been part of the Aston Villa Academy, Birmingham City Academy, West Brom, Wolves academies. And given that she only took up the game when she was 14, she missed out on all that academy stuff. So she's got to try and catch all that up, which was fine when she was playing as a forward. But when she moved back into midfield, there was a lot more to learn. And that's, I think, can she do on a wet, windy night in Stoke? I don't know. But she's got a lot to learn in midfield. She's very creative. She's very determined. She takes the set pieces for the team. She's the corner taker and long-range free kick taker if it's not a shooting chance. The big centre-back comes up for the shooting chances. But if it's a cross into the box, she's the one who delivers it because she's got a great long ball. But her problem is she's not. She has a habit of stopping and thinking a little bit and being caught in possession when she's stopping and thinking. But she doesn't do that when she's playing with regular players, but because she's now in a reserve team, there's a lot of through flow of players, so she's struggling a bit to gel with new players. Yeah, she's an attacking creative midfielder. She doesn't stop all game. She runs 7 miles a game on average. She's been clocked on the watch thing they wear. Constantly running. She's quick, she's strong, but she doesn't know how to use her strength. That's a problem as well. She needs to learn to use her strength. So those are 2 things she's been told she needs to work on. Reacting quickly to what people on her own team are doing and using her strength. But there's no one in the team who one glance can look up, see a winger 20 yards away in space and then drop the ball to their feet perfectly. She can do that. Last season, she averaged 1 assist per game, most often from corners, dropping them on the centre-back's head. Yeah. Anyway, where were we? The fire sprites follow you as you back towards the window. Pretending to be terrified, you make for one of the plant pot stands and attempt to hide behind it. But when the sprites are near enough, you strike. Grabbing the large plant pot on top of the stand, you hurl the contents over the little creatures. The soil covers them and douses their flames, and in an instant, they've disappeared. Yeah, she has potential. It's going to take time. And yes, that is the type of role she's tried to model herself on, Iman. She's that sort. She does score some goals. She's the penalty taker as well. She takes penalties and has never missed one yet. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, standing there watching your child. The score is 1-1 and your daughter steps up to take a penalty. And we won that game 3-2 and she scored it. And we were like, it's horrible. It's horrible. Touch wood indeed. She'll miss at some point. She has to. You step back up to the fireplace and examine the secret button again. Will you press it or will you leave the drawing room? Press the secret button or leave the drawing room. Press it, press it, press it. Everybody's saying press it. Go on then. We press the button. 392. You press the button and hear a small click. Then you hear another sound and you swing round to face the corner shelf. Beside this shelf, a sliding panel has opened in the wall. You walk over to investigate and bend down to look at the opening. Too late, you realise that the panel has revealed not a tunnel at all, but a false opening. The wall behind is solid, but it has served its purpose. You have been lured into a trap. You're standing on a trapdoor which opens beneath you and you fall downwards. Down you fall for several meters until you finally land in a heap on something soft. Add 1 fear point for the fright. And test your luck. The dice hated us last week. Rolled 7. Our luck is 10. Now becomes 9. But that means we've passed. If you're unlucky, you have twisted your wrist. Deduct a skill point. But we are lucky, so we are unhurt. You pick yourself up and verify there's no serious damage. You've landed on a mound of earth and hay, and you realize you're in a cellar underneath the house. The room is fairly small, with one door. Outside, you can hear a shuffling noise coming closer. Will you spring behind the door to surprise whatever is approaching? Or will you quickly search the room for a weapon in case you need to defend yourself? Is this the cellar under the stairs where we knocked 10 off, Iman? Do you know? Shall I have a quick look? No, I don't think so. No, that doesn't look right. Behind the door, surprise them. Dungeon Crawlers reckons search. Halakar says surprise them. And is it your turn to be outvoted again, Dungeon Crawlers? Okay. Yeah, you've been outvoted, Dungeon Crawlers. I am very sorry. Everybody else is going for jump whoever's approaching. So the door slowly opens and you hold yourself close to the wall. The man who enters is short and stocky and appears to be bent double. Hello! Oh, I thought Hungar was here. Halakar, you are fooling me and fooling me into believing that Hungar had turned up. He's not armed. He peers into the room and scratches his head. Evidently, he has heard something and is perplexed at finding nothing in the room. Will you step forward and announce yourself? Or will you keep hidden and hope that he leaves? So, do we step forward and announce ourselves, or do we keep hidden and hope that he leaves? Step forward, step forward. It's that hunchback, isn't it, that we didn't kill? He knows we're there. Okay. Brian's being outvoted here. Everyone's outvoting Brian. It's your turn. Your turn to have no friends in the votes. Okay, talk to him. 367. Here's Johnny. That's what my boss used to say when I walked into work. Now my boss, who passed away, I used to walk in, he'd go, "Here's Johnny." Oh well, shame. You cough lightly and step forward. The man turns towards you and jumps back, startled. You apologize for frightening him and explain your situation. He eyes you suspiciously and calms down, saying, "Of course. I'll help you. Follow me." As he turns and walks through the door, you can see he's not bent over double, but he has a hunched back. You follow him from the room. Yes, Mage, the secret to never being outvoted is to not vote. But that's not the point of the stream. Do you remember my video on playing a Call of Cthulhu investigator? If you're an investigator, you investigate. That is the point. In this stream, the point is to vote. I can't make you, but I can just name and shame you. As you leave the room, the hunchback limps along, muttering to himself. I wish the master's friends would not drop in on me like that, he mumbles, giving me such a fright and all, especially on a night like tonight. He leads you along until he reaches a door on the left. Keep on going until you reach a staircase, then go up into the house. I've got work to do down here. Do you recognize this hunchback? Have you met him before? If so, we can turn to 230. If not, we either follow his directions or wait until he's gone and explore the cellar. So, did you see, I had a little internet wobble on Wednesday, but only for a short while. Did you see what caused it? It wasn't my computer that caused it. There was a bus on fire. One of my shop regulars was on this bus, and just as he got to his stop, he says he smelt something sickening coming from upstairs because it was a double-decker bus. And so as he got off, the bus driver came out of his cab and went upstairs to see what was causing the smell. And there was a small fire beginning, but it was starting to take hold. So he evacuated the bus, and it went up. It burnt out, and it melted a lot of the phone lines in the area because the lines run down the side of the road, and the heat from the fire melted the phone lines, and that's what caused everyone's internet for about half mile around here just to go absolutely god awful on Wednesday night. They reckon it was arson. It didn't make the news though. I looked up, but they reckon it might have been arson, from what from that guy who was in my shop was saying, because he sort of hung around. He lived just over the road, so he hung around to see what happened, because it was just outside his house. And the talk was that there was a group of kids messing about up there, possibly set fire to it before they got off. Right, anyway, we have met him before, so. Yeah. Your wife's car caught on fire once. It did make the news. Yeah, some yobs. And I'm surprised it didn't make the news, because our customer, he took a picture of it all happening on his phone, like a during and after, and it was a significant fire, and it was a shell afterwards. Anyway, you recognize the hunchback as the man who brought you a drink upstairs. Will you jog his memory, or would you rather have your revenge and attack him? Jog his memory, or attack him. It's up to you. Up to you, fellas. Tea gone. I tried to make it last, but it goes cold. Should make myself a pot, shouldn't I? Jogging is always good. It depends how good your knees are. Jogging's not good for me. When I did judo, I had to wear knee supports. His knees didn't like bending, not very much. We didn't drink the drink he bought us. We jumped him, beat him up a bit, but then we let him go. Good evening, Jeb. I'm not one for fancy fragrant teas, but I do like fruity teas. I've got some fruity teas downstairs, some black currant ones, things like that. They're quite nice. I like with a little bit of honey in, though. I haven't got any honey. Not quite. Imagine a short, slower version with no hair, a bit older. Jog his memory, re-establish our dominance. Okay, 198. The dull-witted hunchback seems to vaguely remember your face. You start to chat to him and find that he's quite flattered that someone wants to talk to him. He tells that his name is Sheku and he lives in the cellars beneath the house. Do you wish to ask him about the secrets of his cellars, or shall we offer him a drink? So do we offer him some brandy, or do we ask him about the secrets of his cellars? Secrets or brandy, those are your choices. Offer him a drink. Three, 2 at the moment. 3 for offering him a drink, 2 for asking about the secrets. 3, 4-3 now for secrets. Four. Drink or secrets? Is Iman right when he reckons we need to get him drunk to reveal the secrets? Is that the idea? Mercurius is changing his mind. That makes it 5-3. And with Mage abstaining from voting all the time, if you're still here, Mage, then I'm going to take it as a 5-3 towards getting him drunk then. Right, okay. 93. His eyes light up. What was your idea? Oh, you're changing to drink as well. Yes. Mage votes to get him drunk. Yeah, okay, get you drunk. Are you a hunchback then, Mage? A little hunchback in talks like this. His eyes light up at the sight of the brandy. You pour a little into the cap of the hip flask and pass it to him. He gulps it down and licks his lips. After 2 more capfuls, he's definitely slurring his speech. You tell him that you've heard of secret passageways in the cellar, and you'd be very interested in being shown around by someone as knowledgeable as he is. Your flattery and the brandy have their desired effect. Proudly, he tells you all about his cellars, much more than he should. Of course, not everyone can get around these cellars, he boasts. You've got to know the password to get through some of the secret doors, and the master keeps changing the password to protect his secrets. In fact, only yesterday he changed the password from Pravemi to... Oh, what was it now? It's on the tip of my tongue. I should remember it, but it's like the name of the house, but mixed up. My mind's mixed up. It must be you and your brandy. He steps back, realizing that he's said enough. You try asking him more, but he will not speak. Instead, he turns towards the door in the left-hand wall and leaves you pointing down the passageway, mumbling something about upstairs. Turn to 393 to follow the passageway, or 166 to look around. No, but we're getting the hunchback drunk. So I thought you were just saying that you were the hunchback, Mage. So do we follow the passageway, or do we have a little look around here? Iman says follow the passageway. Dungeon Crawler says, look around. I don't care about the hunchback. I want booze, damn it. Booze. So you're not the kindly mage tonight. Okay, you have revealed yourself as the hyphen. Ace Eric. Look around. Follow the passage. So we're 2-2 at the moment. Oh, joy, mage. Oh, joy. Yeah. Yes. I've probably told you before, I got summoned for jury duty right around the time I was being diagnosed with ADHD. So I wrote back and told them and gave them medical evidence to show what I was being diagnosed with. And they wrote back and says, you've been excused from jury duty for life. So if it had been a really juicy case, I'd have been really, really engaged, really, really attentive. I'd been an ideal juror. But if it's something really boring, I'd just been there going, paying no attention. Right, we're at 3-2 now for the passageway. 3 for passageway, 2 for looking around. Ah, there goes the light. Good evening. Four, 2. Any more votes? Or are we stuck at 4-2? Because Mage isn't voting. Yes. Imagine that sort of front of the jury section. Sorry, front of the jury section with the puppet paying attention. Parmetto goes to the passageway, so it's confirmed. We go for the passageway. Hold on. I think I've just read the wrong thing. Oops. I flicked the wrong one. What number were we at? Does anyone remember? Where were we? Anyone remember where we were? $393 to follow the passageway, yes. I turned to 166 by mistake. Didn't look right. The passageway widens into a small chamber. Although it is dark, you can see a staircase going up a few meters ahead of you. To your right, the chamber opens out into a wide area. You step forwards and almost immediately a twittering noise puts you on your guard. Suddenly you feel something land on your head and dig sharp claws into your scalp. You gasp and swat it away. Your hand touches a small, leathery body, and a pair of wings start to flap as it rises from your head. Bats. A number of them are flapping around your head, darting and scratching with their claws. Add 1 fear point for the shock. Do you wish to run up the stairs, hide under the stairs, or fight the bats? Is this the under the stairs bit where we find the secret passage, Iman? So I know we've got it written down here. Under cellar stairs. I'm guessing that's the clue we've got. That's for those who, yeah. Last time we picked up a clue that there's a secret passage under the cellar stairs. So, yeah. I'm hoping everybody votes for hide under the stairs. Iman's got this book. But you can disagree with him if you want. But yeah, I'm saying there was a clue given last time that that we picked that up quite fairly, that there is a secret passage under the stairs. Yes, exactly, Jeb. Exactly. So hide under the stairs, turn to 320. And this is, we're now under the stairs, so -10 from here. If you wish to look for secret doors, turn to 276. Otherwise, return to the last reference and choose again. So obviously, we know there's a secret door here. We'd only be here because we know there's a secret door here. So you feel around the wall, rapping the brick with your knuckles. Your heart leaps as you find a hollow area. You trace it with your fingers, and the area is roughly the shape of a small door. Do you wish to look for a catch, which will open the door, or will you try a password? Yes, this is where he's given us that secret code, isn't it? Or it's the name of the house muddled up. Can you remember the name of the house? Everyone's going for password. So, yeah. Sheku told us, didn't he? Okay. You step back from the secret door and say your password. There are four passwords to choose from. Pravemi, Goathead, Murder, or Chris. K-R-I-S. So Pravemi, Goathead, Murder, or Chris. Pravemi. So Pravemi, Goathead, Murder, or Chris. We learnt the name of the Earl. The guy who owns the house is the Earl of Druma. So it's now 3 votes for murder. Yes, that's it. There's been a murder. 174. The rock creaks and dust rises as the wall comes to life. A crack appears in the brickwork and slowly a secret door opens. But to your surprise, the door opens to one side of the hollow area you found. Perhaps this was merely a decoy. Moments later, the door is opened wide enough to let you see inside. You can see a small chamber with a table standing in the center. On the table is a box. Do we enter this room? Or do we climb back up the stairs and go through the door at the top? So enter this secret room, or do we just leave, climb the stairs and go through the door at the top? Enter the room. I've never been to this part of the book before. So this is the bit I obviously went wrong in multiple places. I've played this book loads of times and never got this far. Yeah, we can't find out what's in the box if we don't go in. Absolutely. I'm going to make it right. We're at 174. If we die, this is where we come back to try again now. 48. You step into the small room. Glancing around to make sure you are safe, you walk up to the table. The rest of the room is bare, except for the table and the box which rests on it. Could this be the one you are looking for? It is a handsome rectangular box made of wood with brass fastenings. It looks like a case for a pair of dueling pistols. You undo the catch and flip back the lid. No check for traps. Your eyes light up as the lid falls back. The box is lined with red velvet, and there in the middle is a pearl-handled dagger. Its silver blade is wavy, but it is finely polished and razor-sharp. An inscription in the wooden top reads, "The crysknife, a blade fashioned for the glorification and pleasure of the demons of hellfire, our true masters, to be used only by initiates, never to be wielded in the presence of the masters." A sense of awe fills you as you pick up the knife. You turn it over tenderly in your hands and then place it in your pocket. For this find, you may add 3 luck points. It takes up to a maximum, which is 10. Now you must decide what to do next. Will you leave the way you entered and climb the stairs to the ground floor? Or will you search the room thoroughly first? Are you speaking from experience there, Halakar? Iman says climb the stairs. Palmetto says search. Dungeon Caller says climb. Yeah. You're quoting a film. Okay. Not personal experience. Okay, we're on 3 climb, 2 search at the moment. 3 climb, 2 search. 3 climb, 3 search. Roll for Wandering Monsters. Any more votes? 3 climb, 3 search. Thief Keith says climb. We are. Search. Right, we've got 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4, 3-5, 4-5. They are saying climb. No, they're saying search. You rummage through the box, but there's nothing else hidden inside. The walls all feel solid except for the one on the left-hand side adjacent to the secret entrance. You feel around and locate another secret door, but you cannot feel a catch. Perhaps the same password opens it. You try this, and the door starts to open slowly, revealing another room. You stare into this other room. It's almost an exact replica of the one in which you're standing. It is completely bare, except for a table with a box resting on it. Fascinating. Shall we step into this other room, or shall we leave it and go through our original stair and go original door and go back upstairs? So, do we go into this replica room, or do we go upstairs? Enter or upstairs? Those are your choices. Too late, Halagar. Too late. Leave. Not falling for this trap. Yeah. This feels wrong. Well, we'll soon find out. We're going upstairs. 293. Have we just failed? You open the door at the top of the stairs. Facing you is a door, and to your right, the hallway ends at another door. Do you want to enter the door opposite? Do you want to try the door to our right? Or do you want to turn left into the main hallway? So, door opposite, door on the right, or left into the main hallway. We're okay, are we, Iman? We're okay. Good.
Don't you dare say that. Get out of my room now. Don't you dare say that.
Uh-oh.
Get out.
Uh-oh. Argument going on. Wife versus daughter. One, two, three, 4 opposite, 1 for door on the right. Door opposite. I'm trying to earwig as well. 113. The room you enter is a reception room. A table and 6 chairs stand in the center of the room. At one end is an enormous mural of a country scene, perhaps painted of the area many years ago. On the opposite wall, stretching from the floor to the ceiling, is a full-length mirror. Velvet curtains line the wall opposite the door. You walk over to admire the painting, then turn to face the mirror. A shock is in store. Your eyes widen as you turn towards the mirror and stare into it. It casts no reflection of you. Add a fear point. You walk closer to the mirror, but still no reflection appears, though you can see the table and the wall behind you clearly. You walk right up to it and feel its surface. Your hand passes right through the glass. Pulling it back quickly, consider the situation. Will you leave this room? Will you step through the mirror, or will you investigate the room further? Hello, Justin. Justin's being sensible. So 2-1 for investigate. Manfred wants to step through the mirror. Oh, we've got 6 votes to investigate. That's a big advantage for that. Okay. 3-2-4. The underside of the table. The underside of the table forms a closed box, and this arouses your suspicions. You knock on it. It is hollow. Perhaps it is a secret compartment. You feel around underneath, and sure enough, your fingers find a small catch which releases a hidden drawer. Inside this drawer is a leather box. But wait, what is that noise? You can hear footsteps outside the door. You'll have to hide quickly. Will you grab the case and take it with you, or will you leave it behind and close the drawer? Grab the case or leave it behind. Bear with me. Right, which one are you going for? Grab the case, take it, grab the case, grab it, grab case. Okay. 147. Where will you hide? Will you nip behind the curtains, or will you quickly dive through the mirror? Curtains or mirror? 3-1 for curtains at the moment. 3-2. 3-2. 3-3. Dive through the mirror or hide behind the curtains. You have to leave. Let's go crazy. Jump through the mirror. 4-3 for mirror now. Change mine to mirror. Right. That's it. 5-2. So mirror. 3. Got no pictures for ages. Might be a good thing. You grab the box and walk up to the mirror. You put your hand through again and pull it back. It seems safe enough. You step through, just in the nick of time, for as you disappear into the mirror, you hear the door open behind you. You find you're in a small room behind the mirror. You decide to open the leather box. Inside is a golden key, which you put in your pocket. $160. Behind the mirror is a small chamber, just large enough for you to turn around in. There are 2 doors in the chamber. Left-hand door, right-hand door, or step back through the mirror. So do we go left, right, or back through the mirror? Those are your choices. Two for right, 2 for left. Okay. We have Manfred, Justin, and Brian going for left. We have Parmetto, Iman, Thief Keith, and Mercurius going for right. So it's 4-3 for right at the moment. Any more votes? Anyone going to tip it? Either way? Could still go either way. 4-3 for right. We are down to 8 people in chat, so okay. Right hand door. 294. The door is locked. Do you have the golden key? Yes, we do. The golden key fits the lock and turns. The door opens to let you into another small room. The dust and cobwebs suggest this room is very rarely used and certainly looks fairly uninteresting. But in the thick dust on the floor, you notice one footprint, then another. Someone has been in here recently. The footprints lead towards the right-hand wall around the door. Behind a loose stone in the wall, you find what it is that the visitor came to hide, a large cast iron key. You pick it up and examine it. It's heavy and fairly crudely made and has the number 27 cast into it. You put this in your pocket. Nothing else of interest seems to be in this room, but you may add 2 luck points, we don't need to, for this find, Now you must leave the chamber. Turn to 204. Do you wish to try the other door, which was the left door, or do we prefer to step back through the mirror? So try the other door or step back through the mirror. Make me a little note of where we are. Yeah, you do tend to send us in circles, Justin. That's been known. That's been known from the past. I've always thought you did it on purpose as well. And I may be right there. Jeb reckons we go back through the mirror. Justin says other door. One vote for each so far. Take credit for doing it on purpose. No, well, don't worry, Manfred. It's nearly midnight where you are. He's an hour ahead of me. Okay, so we've got 3 for going back through the mirror, 1 for the other door. Four for back through the mirror, 1 for the other door. Is this the way we're going? Hello, Richard. Yes, you need to get to. Daylight saving is tomorrow night for us. Have you already done your daylight saving, Manfred? Is it 11 o'clock? Have you already moved your clocks? Because we do ours early hours Sunday morning, late Saturday night, early hours Sunday morning. We go back to GMT. So we're going back through the mirror. All right. You wait until there is silence in the drawing room and step carefully back through the mirror into the room. The coast is clear. You walk over to the door and leave the room. You leave the room cautiously and look around in the hallway. There's no one in sight. There's a door to your left, which you may try. Otherwise, you may turn right and follow the hallway around. Well, we have an hour left, maximum. Preferably 45 minutes. There's a door to the left, which we may try, or we follow the turn right around the hallway. Up to you. I'm guessing wherever Palmetto is, he's in exile from somewhere. A place called Palmetto, perhaps? So, hallway. It's either turn right and follow the hallway or try the door we haven't yet tried. Those are our options. But hallway is winning. by 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-1 at the moment. 4-2. Justin exists to be contrary. He wears the D&D ring of contrariness at all times. Greatest magic item ever. So, looks like we're following the hallway. 58. The hallway widens. You walk across to another hallway and continue in the direction you were walking until you reach 2 doors opposite each other. I read that really badly. The hallway widens. You walk across to another hallway and continue in the direction you were walking until you reach 2 doors opposite each other. Will you try the door on the right, or will you try the door on the left? Door on the right, door on the left. I'd like to go to Philadelphia one day to watch an Eagles game at the Link, but never been to the States. I've never been further west than Belfast. Been quite a few places east and south, but furthest west I've ever been is Belfast. Furthest north I've ever been is Scotland. Been quite close to the top of Scotland. I think Gettysburg would be pretty impressive. 30 minutes from the beach. Scotland doesn't count. It's not a real place. Scotland's lovely, actually. Scotland's really, 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 really nice scenery. You've never been to Wales, Iman? Okay, we're voting for left by the looks of things. 3-2-3. The door is locked. The handle and lock are part of an ornate metal plate. Do you have a cast iron key with you? If so, deduct the number on the key from this reference number and turn to the resulting reference to open the door. Okay, we do. That takes us to 296. My maths is correct. The key turns and the door opens. You step into the dining room. A long table is set for 2 with fine silver. A sparkling chandelier festooned with candles lights the room. The walls are covered with plush red wallpaper. Full-length curtains are drawn along one of the walls. You are prepared for your battle. A rope hangs down by the curtains. You can pull this if you wish to ring for the butler. Otherwise, you can check around the room for any sign of traps. So, do we pull the rope to ring for the butler, or do we check around the room for traps? Ring for the butler. Yeah, Anglesy's further west than Blackpool and Liverpool. I've driven around. Anglesy's got a racing circuit. I've driven around that. It was quite good fun. I have to find some more pictures of that sort of thing. And they're not on this computer, unfortunately, but tons of them on my old computer. Okay, so we've got 3 for ring for the butler, 2 for check for traps. Any more votes? Four for ring for the butler, 2 for check for traps now. 5 for ring for the butler. Okay, 318. A few moments later, Franklin's the butler enters the dining room. He's startled to see you. You demand to talk to the master of the house, and he agrees to pass on your request. 10 minutes later, the Earl of Dromer comes storming angrily into the room with Franklin's following close behind. They stand facing you across the table, watching you carefully. Why have I been disturbed in the middle of the night? He demands. You tell him that you know of the evil that goes on in the house and you are determined to destroy it. The two men look at each other. They nod and look back at you. Then they step apart and advance round the table towards you, the Earl to your left and his butler to your right. You must choose quickly whom you will attack first. Do we fight the Earl or do we fight the butler? Earl first or butler? One for Earl, 2 for butler. 1 for Earl, 4 for butler. 5 for butler. Butler then. 351. You turn towards the butler. He stops and takes a step backwards. You step forwards. Franklin's runs around the other side of the table. Franklin's! Screams the Earl. Move in, man. Step up and attack. The butler twitches nervously. Will you continue pursuing him, or will you leave the cowardly butler for the time being and concentrate on the Earl? So pursue the butler, or now go for the Earl. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3 at the moment. 4, 3 for going for the Earl. 4, 4. We are at an impasse. 4 votes to pursue the butler. 4 votes to switch to attack the Earl. Butler or Earl. There's one more person in chat who has not yet voted. They have the casting vote. As we drop to 8 in chat, as soon as I say that, the lurker has disappeared. Okay, Palmetto says he'll change to pursue. Okay. 336. You catch up with the butler in the corner of the room. Resolve your fight with him. And if you're attacking with the Chris dagger, you add 3 points to your skill during the battle. Right. I know there's an issue with this bit of the book. I don't know, Manfred. Yeah, I know they retconned it, didn't they? Officially, the rules say that you can't go above your skill, but they people believe this was a mistake with the Chris knife, because otherwise, the last battle in this book is impossible. So that pushes our skill up to 14. Yeah, I've never been to Master Moor or Naseby. I'm a bad history nerd. We've lost, even with skill 14 against his skill 8, we've lost the first round of combat. Oh, we've had that yellow potion. Okay, so that protects against the first 2 hits. That's better. And again. And again. And that's our other potion bonus done. So the potion can now be crossed off. Yeah, we had a 6 skill advantage, and I rolled double 1 for us twice. So hope that changes. But oh, hold on. I didn't read the next bit. I'm just going to put that potion back on. We've used 1 use of the potion. It does say when you've inflicted your first wound on Franklin's, turn to 181. So we've got 1 use of the potion left still. Oh. The butler screams as your blow strikes him. The man is obviously not the violent type, as the agony in his voice is certainly not warranted by your modest hit. His cry continues. It becomes deafening, and you are forced to step back and cover your ears with your hands. But this is not the anguish of an injured man. Steam begins to rise from the floor, and it engulfs the butler. His expression changes from a scream to a vicious snarl, and his eyes widen. A transformation is taking place. Before your eyes, the form of Franklin's melts away and is replaced by a hideous, demonic beast. Steam hisses from its mouth. Its scaly skin is dark. Its hands are now 2 vicious claws, which slash the air before you. Its feet have become hooves, goat-like hooves. You must add 3 fear points as you witness the creation of this demon from the depths of hell. We have 1 fear point left. Turn to 109 if you're using the Chris knife. We are. Can you defeat the demon which now stands before you? If not, it will certainly kill you, but you have with you the Chris knife, the only weapon which will harm the creature. You may add 6 points to your skill score while using this weapon. Okay, here we go. Right, yeah, it needs to be. It's got skill 14. Here we go. This is the big fight. We've hit it once. 8-6. 3-11. It's hit us. These dice are jinxed. 5-8. Tied. 9-6. We've beaten it. 6-8. We've beaten it by 1. 8-4. We've beaten it. 7-10. A tie. 8-12. It beats us. 2-7. It beats us. My orange dice are rolling very, very high. 8-8. We've beaten it. 4-7. A tie. 6-8. We beat it by 1, and that has reduced it to 0. Oh, if you win the fight, turn to 400. You know what that means? You know what that means? Just going to move my dice out of the way. The creature howls as you strike the final blow. It totters on its hooves and crashes down onto the table. As it falls, its flailing arms smash into the chandelier in the center of the room, scattering candles onto the floor. From behind you, another cry goes up, and your other attacker, whom you've forgotten about completely, springs over to the table to hug the beast pitifully. You ought to kill both of them, but the pathetic, sobbing creature hunched over the huge bulk is hardly worth considering. In any case, something else, much more dangerous, has caught your attention. One of the candles, which was knocked from the chandelier, has rolled across the floor and set light to the heavy curtains. The fire is spreading rapidly. You must escape quickly. Smoke is beginning to creep out of the room as you close the front door behind you. Walking down the drive, you glance back to see the fire making rapid progress through the ground floor. Flames are licking along the wooden beams. In an hour or so, the place will be beyond rescue. From a safe distance, you watch the fire destroy the house. A fitting end, you think, for a house of hell. We've done it. Cheers, Iman. I know you've completed this one before. I know you've completed this one before. So that's fair. That's fine. But we must have had about 6 or 7 attempts to do that book. So that's fine. I'm quite happy. That's the first time it was 6 or 7. We failed a lot of times in that book, and I must have made another 6 or 7 attempts when I was younger, and I've played it at least twice since I rebought it. So I'm looking at 15 plus attempts for me with this book, including ones with you lot, to complete it. So I think it's a good book, that is. Did we ever win the one in Canada? No, we didn't. We died. That was Alone Against the Frost. We died the first time. The second time we got back to safety, but we hadn't learnt enough for it to be classed as a success. So I think we'll have to play that one again sometime. Did you all see my summaries, that review video I did on the Alone Against series? I covered them all on there, and it's nice to see that some people have said that they have bought and played them as a result of us playing them on a Friday night. Jeb said you bought Alone Against the Frost. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of stamina left, and only had 1 fear point to spare. Cheers, Dungeon Crawlers. go and enjoy. Heading out to Universal Studios for Halloween Mazes. Excellent. Yeah, the butler was the real big bad of the book. Yeah, I think we played the Canada one twice and didn't have a lot of success. I need to get into that one a bit more, because the only 2 times I've played it so far, I've been with you guys on stream, and I like to play them by myself as well. I have no intention of playing Alone Against the Dark again, because that we spent three or four streams on that one, and we got to the end. So we haven't completed Alone Against the Tide on the stream yet, though I have completed that myself beforehand. Did it on my second attempt when I first got it. Alone Against the Flames, I've completed the explosive way, and then on the stream we completed it the running away way. So cheers, Manfred. Yeah, off you go. Get some sleepy buys. Yes. So Alone Against the Frost, there was one playthrough when we were a disembodied brain. Yes, and the Migo got us. Yeah. You've tried it about 20 times and never got to the location you're supposed to find. Wow. Yeah, that was the problem with Alone Against the Dark. It's a good idea. It gives you that freedom to move around, but it actually turns out to be excessive page flipping. The voyage is repetitive, and you've got to repeat it with multiple characters. And that's a lot of page flipping early on in the book, with a book that's got weak binding anyway. So the binding is just destroyed because you're flipping through the earlier section of the book over and over and over and over and over. And it's a shame, because where the mechanics should have enhanced the book, they didn't. They interrupted the fun, which was not what they meant to do, which is why I prefer Alone Against the Frost the way they do it with a group of 5, and there's no added travel mechanics in there, which is better, even if it does feel a little bit tenuous how they slowly whittle down the size of the party. It doesn't matter. Yeah, the voyage part of Alone Against the Dark was boring. It's boring. It's fun the first time, but you have to go through it again and again. At least with the 4th character, you don't have to. You start on the other side of the Atlantic, but it's just you don't want to go through. I don't want to go through it again and again and again. Anyhow, it is a shame, because it's got a decent plot with its twists and turns and the traveling around the globe and all that sort of stuff. But for me, Alone Against the Flames, even though it's quite short, even though halfway through it clicks with everybody exactly which film it's based on, the way it builds up nicely and gets more and more tense as it goes on, and has one particularly explosive ending, I really like about it, because I think that's an ideal Cthulhu one-shot for me. If I play a one-shot scenario, I like it to start slowly and then build and build and build and build and build, and then come to a nice big ending, because that's how one-shot games are best remembered. Yeah. So I like Flames. I think Flames is good, and it's a perfect starter adventure for someone who's never played the game before to just pick up, and you can play it in a couple of hours. It's a lot of fun. It leads you in quite nicely. The writing style isn't quite as good as Alone Against the Tide. The Tide is more descriptive and more eerie in places, but it's just too short. The film, it would be, I have mentioned it on a stream before, it would be a massive spoiler. It would be a massive spoiler, but it becomes obvious. I mean, it starts describing something, you're like, I wonder. Yes, I wonder. And it is. What's next week? Well, next week is quite a few people are going to Clericon. I know it's in Canada, so a lot of our Canadian. I have seen that film. Yes. And I know a lot of our regulars are going to be in Canada for a convention next week, but I will do something. We're going to move away from horror because it's after Halloween. I should have saved Alone Against the Flames because it's bonfire night, 2 nights on Sunday, 5th of November here, but no. I'll find something. I'll find a book we haven't played. There are a few books we haven't played, and I think we'll have a go at one of them that we've not played. So let's. I've got a few of them there, so we'll try something new. All right. Yours is the 7th of November. Mine is the 4th. Mine is a week on Saturday. So I'll be 52. So it's my birthday on the Saturday, it's bonfire night on the Sunday, and it's Iman's birthday on the Tuesday. I have put up a potential Call of Cthulhu game for next Tuesday, which is the 31st. And we've played about 80% of it at least once, but we've only completed 4 of them. We've now completed Forest of Doom and House of Hell. We've completed Alone Against the Dark, and we've completed Alone Against the Flames. Those are the 4 that we've done successfully. So there's quite a few that we haven't completed, but there's still 4 or 5 that we've not even tried. So I'll pick something out that we haven't tried. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. But if anyone wants to play Call of Cthulhu with me next Tuesday, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm going to run a game on Discord starting at 7 o'clock UK time, which will be in GMT. We shift an hour earlier, so that's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern, I think, or was it 3 p.m. Eastern? Not sure. I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern. So that take that into consideration if you want to play. Okay, cheers, Jeb. Yeah, we've only completed 4 of the books, Justin. Something you might find amusing. The location of Clericon is just off a road called Old School Road. I'm guessing there's an old school on it. Mage knows a bit about voice acting. Done a bit of it. And yeah, Mage. Yes. Anyhow, I think we're pretty much done for this stream. We've completed a book. Happy about that. I've got no work tomorrow. I'm going to be playing OSE tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if Gene or Gingerbeard. I think it's Gingerbeard running it tomorrow. I don't know who's running that session, but my session in the evening is not happening because I'm going to be going to a party with live music and beer. So I'm going to be out eating free food, listening to live music, and drinking beer. And that is my evening tomorrow. So I won't be running my later session. Iman's pretty good with the accents. I think, isn't voice acting a little more than accents? Haven't you got to be able to do a bit of, I don't know, really sort of, I guess it's a fine line between making it sound a little over the top and then it's making it sound authentic. I've never done acting. I've never done acting, so I've got no idea. I have been recording myself reading The Call of Cthulhu, the story. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it at the moment, but I need a completely peaceful environment in order to do it, and that hasn't been available to me the days I've been available. So I'm going to try and finish that off on Monday, Tuesday. I think audible book narration is different to acting, though. And it looks like, I mean, I've never done acting, but I had good feedback for my narration for Nyarlathotep. So I think I'm okay at book narration, but voice acting, no. It's different. It's different. Tell you what, though, audible book narration is very frustrating. The amount, I mean, when I record a video, you can trip over a word while you're recording a video quite easily, and it doesn't matter. But if you're doing an audio book narration, you can't trip over what you've got. If you trip over a word, you have to go back, re-record, splice it in, and all that sort of stuff. Anything bumps in the background, stop, go back, re-record, splice that in, and trying to keep the volume levels consistent, especially if you're recording in bursts, which you have to. And reading Lovecraft, yeah, you have to edit narration a lot. And reading Lovecraft is quite difficult because his punctuation is odd, it's inconsistent, and there's some very long sentences with weird inflections on them. And the amount of times I've read a sentence and then realized I put the inflection in the wrong place and had to go back and reread it, and just skimming ahead's no good. You often have to read it out and then read it out again to record it, and he uses quite a lot of awkward words. It's it's tough. It's yeah, I could have picked an easier author to start with, but hey ho, it's a challenge. Yeah, it's Stephen Fry couldn't say the phrase Harry pocketed it when narrating. Yeah, there's certain phrases you trip over. I wrote a quiz question where the answer, I host pub quizzes on a Sunday night. One of the answers was the film The Day After Tomorrow. When I read the answer out, I couldn't say it. The day after, the day after, day after, it wouldn't come out. It just wouldn't come out. And it's easy to say the day after tomorrow, but oh well. That's when all the people in the pub laugh at me. But that's, I'm guessing 27 years of hosting pub quizzes is what's made me able to read clearly and be able to sort of express quite clearly and quite openly, which is quite good. When I first hosted quizzes, I was quite monotone. And question number 1 is, and I'm a lot more relaxed now. You've got to relax. You've got to relax when you do it, but it's difficult to relax when you know that you can't trip over words. And the amount of times you start reading, and it's like bollocks. You go back and do it again. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm quite lazy with my video editing. Because I'm not very skilled at it. That's the problem. I haven't really learnt many of them. If you get a word stuck on the tongue, just make a fart noise. Yes. You can't do that when you're reading an audio book, though. You can't. Yes. Cthulhu fatality. Yeah. It's fun, though. Right. Anyway, I think I'm going to draw this stream to a close. We've had a successful one. I know we've been led by Iman, but it's nice to have a book completed, a book I've never completed before. It's a tough old book, and I do hope you all enjoyed it. It's a good book, that good book, and I think we'll make a good Call of Cthulhu scenario. I think so. Yeah, not a live reading. You edit it out and put in the correct word when you can pronounce it again. And sometimes you have to sit there and go, oh, drink tea. One other thing, though, never drink, when you're about to record a video, don't eat or drink fizzy pop. So don't eat and don't drink fizzy pop when you're about to record a video. I can guarantee you halfway through the video, you'll need to burp. And reading when you need to burp is very, very difficult. Right. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna depart now. So thank you all for taking part. Cheers, Palmetto. Thank you, everybody in chat. We've had a bit of fun, a bit of success, and we'll do another book next week, one we've not done before. So we'll see what happens. Yes, sugar makes you salivate. Nothing sugary. No, you're right there. Absolutely. And you sit there going, yes. Cheers. Thank you all. And if anyone wants to play some OSE, we're playing tomorrow, and some Call of Cthulhu on Tuesday, hopefully. So come along, join in. But for now, see you all.